We are going into our first game of the evening, which will be SoulKey against Ancestor. And if you are a guy like Ancestor, who I actually can't recall ever playing him. Like he's a guy that I don't know much about him. So him looking at this bracket, thinking, yeah, I'll try my luck in this qualifier. I'll see how I do. And then he sees that his first match is against none other than SoulKey. You got to be a little bit worried, but also, if you are a player that's not really got much of a reputation, you kind of enter these tournaments to test out your luck against the real best of the world. So, yeah, no better to do it against than SoulKey here.
Yeah, of course, Ancestor is our red Protoss in the bottom left position. The unknown, the wild card, I guess, for this match. Probably more likely to bust out something crazy. And playing for TCM in the northeast is SoulKey. But you're right. I think anybody that draws SoulKey in the early rounds of a bracket like this is probably hating life to Muslim.
Hating life, or bounce into the challenge. Like when I saw
he sees
Fantasy,
this, he's like, "This is my chance."
Yeah, exactly. Like if he beats SoulKey and let's say he beats another name in here, then boom, he's made a name for himself already. So like that kind of stuff's cool.
Yeah. I even the drone scout coming out of SoulKey, he's like, I want to know what this guy's doing. Because if the commentator's never heard of him, I've never heard of him, well, I should probably, make sure he's not doing something incredibly cheesy or all any sense. That's the last thing that you want to do when you're a player who would, be favored in the long game as someone who's made it to the finals of a GSL, is to get cheesed out by someone that you've never heard of before.
Yeah, that would suck. But also, like, one of the things that we have to think of from Ancestor's point of view, the fact that SoulKey's probably never heard of this guy, he could always cheese him out himself because he's like, oh, I'm so much better than this guy, I'm just going to cheese him. So both these players have to play a little bit worried and a little bit suspect of the other. So there's already going to be mind games going on. But as we see here, it is Hatch first on Overgrowth with a, like he's playing pretty greedy with this build. Like, is Hatch first super greedy? No. Protosses do get, or Zergs do get away with it. Obviously, you can get Cannon Rushed, and Overgrowth's a decent map for that. But we see that Ancestor's playing pretty much as safe as he possibly can with this gateway opening.
Yeah, there's really nothing too crazy coming out of him. I'm more interested to see where SoulKey wants to go with the gas that he's opened up with, and this doesn't have to be for anything aggressive. It could just go back to what we were talking about as far as playing against someone that you're favored against. You don't want to lose the game to something like a 2-base, 4-gateway push. So that's one of the things that having Zergling speed really help with. If he chooses to get it immediately when this spawning pool finishes, since it will allow him to track down, for example, the probe in the northwest. No probe, no pylon, no gateway push.
Indeed. We always see Life utilize like an early speed. In fact, he was one of the first ones I ever saw doing it.
You don't even need a lot of links to do it. You just need to find the pylon before it finishes, basically.
Right. Yeah, you hunt down that probe, and you make sure that nothing on your side of the map is going up, and then you just drone like a madman. You can also pull a Bly, where you just kind of rush your opponent and take him take him with his pants down kind of thing. That's how we saw Rain go out. I believe it was on Deadwing. Like he
that
just couldn't
that was one of the dirtiest games I've seen Bly pull off in a while.
15 hatch, 14 pool, 13 gas into Ling only. It was a really, really nasty build, but it paid off in dividends. And here we see that just a few Lings on the map. He does see the Mothership Core and the Stalker marching out towards his half of the map. Twilight Council and Forge going down along with this Nexus. So a little bit of cheeky play from our Protoss player. This could be leading up into some Blink Stalker with upgrades attack.
Getting the Twilight Council at the same time as the Forge, and it's very interesting that these Zerglings managed to spot all of this. It could make SoulKey a little bit on edge when you see the Twilight at the same time as the Forge, because if he goes for Blink and +1, you don't, there are some players like Hero who on this map would go for massive gateway pushes with +1 attack and a lot of Blink Stalkers, but these Lings already being very annoying, getting a probe kill, for 2 Lings. He's already gotten maximum value.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing for Ancestor out of this is that he's seen that it's speed, as that just kicked him before that Ling did die. But, I mean, this is going so well for SoulKey. He's actually getting a really early lair and a very early melee upgrade. So
it seems he wants to focus on the Zerglings and using them to hunt down small groups of units or do little, pushes like this. He forced out the fucking overcharge. He even caused our Protoss player to wall himself in completely now.
Charge?
Well,
okay.
Well, you know what? Let's just throw out that build that a top Korean used. He's doing something crazy.
We saw something like this from Australia, right?
Well, it's going to be a lot harder to do without a probe. on the map.
Oh, I mean, this was
Yeah, you're right. Estrella actually busted out this build on Vonnie Research Station in his WCS match.
But Ancestor's still mining from 2 gases right now.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, he took off one. At least he's taking off the other. All right.
So
he's gonna mine no gas.
200 gas extra though.
Maybe he just wants 2 sentries with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea. Maybe I got nothing to Muslim.
He's got no possibility of getting out a probe on the map. He has to kill his own pylon, which, with that sound, it sounds like he's doing, which it's never cool when you have to kill your own buildings to leave your base kind of thing, when you're already kind of behind. He's producing 4 more gateways.
Yeah, not having a pylon on the map is what makes this really, really tricky. Mass charge lot push. Yeah, it was just for 2 sentries. Maybe they're... I can see the utility of having them both in your own base and across the map. Like, the roaches that are going to be coming out, like roach speed is just now beginning, but I feel like as long as there's creep, SoulKey just needs to start building units now, basically. And he's starting to build roaches. Roaches are what you generally want against zealots. And once speed finishes, then it becomes a lot easier to engage this force.
And this isn't a scary force that's moving out across the map. Obviously, warp gates will be able to warp in an army pretty much anywhere there's a pylon, but you know, there's no aggressive pylon right now. The supply, SoulKey's a good 30 ahead, and he's not producing drones right now.
Oh, he got the probe now, so that's the only pylon he'll be able to place. Can't
and he's revealed charge as well. So SoulKey from this point in time just keeps on making roaches, and he's already got a pretty sufficient army. He's got a spore crawler there to try and take down the mothership core, I suppose, but
yeah, there's not a whole lot of. Well, I mean, I guess when we realized that Ancestor took all of his probes off mining gas, there was really nowhere else for him to go with this build. So these Zerglings are going to try to counterattack. One Zealot guarding the door, and these Zerglings are just going to say, okay, well, I'll just attack where your Zealot can't defend. And he's going to push with a bunch of Zealots into a bunch of Roaches. And Roach speed is just about complete. So as he moves in on creep, force fields are... there's a little bit of a hole.
Oh, they trickled out. Yeah, through that very, very fine gap.
That's that Roach speed really paying off.
Yeah, now Roaches against Zealots, Roach speed against charge lots on creep when the Roaches outnumber, and yeah, they're just murdering those Zealots. The Mothership Core falls to that Spore Crawler, the Lings are in the natural.
Yeah, the +1 attack on the Lings really helps them to chew away at those Zealots too. Like, as good as the +1 is for the Zealots, like, you know, the Lings are supposed to be fodder while these Roaches hit them anyway, so.
I'd love to see the resources lost tab right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says a lot. Well, I mean, if you had to play against SoulKey, I mean, something crazy like this might be the best way to do it.
I mean...
Well, you're Terran to Muslims, so you just 2-racks them, which is always good. So.
It's always a smart move, but, you know, if you're going up against a superior player, maybe it is a wise move to cheese, but there is a reason we don't see this cheese very often.
Yeah, there's a reason why this build doesn't happen a lot. SoulKey didn't even have so much a read on it, but then giving away charge and not being able to have that pylon on the map to make an earlier push or harass the third base just set him up way too well. So that's a game 1 victory for SoulKey. I believe every match in this qualifier is a best of 3, so nobody goes out after, you know, one bad map, which is kind of cool because, you know, most qualifiers, the first few rounds, you're usually you're screwed if you lose the first game.
And how many get through this qualifier? Is it 2 or 4?
We'll get confirmation on that.
It's 4.
The top 4 players actually move on.
That's actually nice. And there's a qualifier again tomorrow where another 4 will join them. So we'll be having the 8 invites. You've seen the invites, right?
Yeah. Well, the invite list is pretty sick. If you guys haven't heard, players like Naniwa, Snoot,
Protoss, we have
Bunny.
Wellmu, Naniwa.
Yeah.
So 2 very good Scandinavian Protosses right there. The Zergs are Snoot, Hyun, and then totally forgot the other guy. But there's 3 Zergs and 3 Terrans. So we have Bunny, Happy, and 4GG, I believe.
I was mostly just looking at the...
In fact, no, is it 4GG? No, it can't be, because he's in the
He's
qualifier.
in the qual. Maybe he just... Unless he forgot. I don't think so.
No, it's
4GG's like, well, is there
I got
money
invited, but screw it, I'm going to go in the qualifier.
It's like, well, I got nothing to do tonight, right? So might as well just play for fun.
Wow, I remember seeing it,
okay.
but
you
my
got
tired
most
brain...
Of the names.
Yeah,
it's okay.
My tired brain is just like, who's the other Zerg? But I'm, like, Snoot and Bunny are obvious choices.
I didn't look at the list too much while I was on my plane, so...
Ooh. Oh, MMA.
Oh, yeah, of course. He
of
won,
course,
he won
the winner of last season.
The guy who won.
Did you see how well he did in GSL today?
No, the plane Wi-Fi had, like, It was like 0.1 down. So.
Do you want to spoil it?
I mean, I was told. People,
oh, really?
People were just like, Nate, it was the reckoning.
Well, so. Yeah, he absolutely bopped TUI 3-0, so he's in top 4 of GSL in his first GSL back.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
European WCS champion, man.
That's pretty good.
It's actually, like, just talking about that, though, it's so nice to see a player that, you know, he left the Korean scene kind of thing to come and try out, or not even try out, came to dominate Europe. Like, he was on the DreamHack circuit, he played in WCS Europe.
Though. He succeeded really well in WCS Europe. Like.
He killed it, you know, like one season he lost to MC in the final, which was kind of like, oh man, MMA lost to MC, but still he made it to the final, so it was pretty damn good, and MC is kind of like a legend in his own right.
He's a good enough a player that when you lose to MC, it's not like you're upset.
No.
It's like, okay, well, yeah, he's really good, and he's won GSLs himself, so.
Like, if you think of the 3 legends of old times of Wings of Liberty, of each race, it was Nesty, MVP, and MC.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say
down.
Quite safely. So, like, losing to that guy, like, it's no shame at all.
What is going on in this game? Is he gonna...
I think he's expand... Oh.
I haven't seen a proxy hatch here. I haven't actually seen this before.
Really?
Not in this position, like, on this map, in this place where the third is. I figured you would put it in the natural, but...
Did he go... Like, he didn't scout up the wall, did he?
I don't think he saw anything. I think he just went right here. He's just like, I'm gonna build a hatchery here.
Wow.
I'm actually a little perplexed by this.
Maybe after the first game.
SoulKey's like, let's have some fun?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, like, I think we've all been in that situation where it's like, you know, I beat that guy. Oh, I'm going to beat him again with something kind of silly. Like, it just makes you happy, you know?
I just feel like this is like the one map where building it outside of his base, he could still take his natural, though, right? Like, if he defends, like, pretty easily. Like, you're not going to creep block him or anything.
He definitely could, but
I'm just more surprised that he didn't just... I mean, I guess then he would have been able to know.
Man, like...
Just be perfectly honest, I've seen a lot of proxy hatches. I haven't seen a proxy hatch here on this map. And I like to watch Katz's stream. Maybe I wasn't paying attention close enough.
And
he has no idea.
I'm genuinely looking forward to see what he does with this, because it's going to be spine crawlers, yeah?
It's got to be spines, right? But the other thing is he doesn't even... Like, his only Overlord, I guess he has one that's kind of in the main. But that Stalker should be able to push it away.
And he's getting Link speed as well with this follow-up.
Yeah, this is just nuts.
So he's getting Link speed, he's got an offensive hatchery. The guy's got a cybernetics call.
He stopped mining gas as well.
Wait. Is he going... Wait, what has he seen?
Wait, he was just going to 3-gate him?
He's 4-gating, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh. What happens now, Nathan?
You were talking about Wings of Liberty. You spoke of the devil, and now the cheese wheel has begun to spin.
He's seen this, though. So, like... What is a Protoss's reaction upon seeing creep outside his base?
What happens now? Because he actually can get the pylon up on the other side of the map. Like...
That's a dead zealot right there.
Yeah. I think 2 of those lings got... I think maybe he could have focused on... I don't know, man. The problem is that he's got spines building outside of his base. He does have a pylon... Not super close, but it's like, you know, it's there. The lings won't run by it, and there's no Overlord nearby. So...
This really depends on how these warp-ins go. Like, if he warps in 4 Zealots and keeps them alive on the other side of the map... Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got into his base. That's bad.
Yeah, this ain't good. This ain't good at all.
Yeah, well, now the Spine's moving into position, and the wall of Ancestor being busted down. I mean, once there's a Spine Crawler poking at your gateway, you know you're having a bad time.
And, I mean... Stalkers are good and stuff, but...
Oh, he catches the one outside, even without speed.
Like, when you have Stalkers against Spine Crawlers, though, ooh, just not efficient unless those lings are at the top of the ramp, so...
Yeah, that's why, I mean, the only thing that puzzled me was, I think SoulKey could have brought Overlord over here faster, but, you know, to criticize one man's cheese, you know, who am I to do that?
Who are you to do that? And this is SoulKey of all people, but you know he's going to take down that cybernetics call pretty soon. There is a creep tumor inside
There's a creep
Ancestor's
tumor
base.
in your base at 6.5 minutes, and you opened 4-gate.
The thing is, like, yeah, you opened 4-gate, a very, very aggressive build, but...
You'd think you'd have enough units, but you lost so many on the map to the first sets of lings.
Like, what are Stalkers bad against? They're bad against lings and Spine Crawlers, so what really can he get out to deal with this? And I don't think there is much of an answer.
Well, now it's impossible to rebuild the wall, so you can just flood lings for days.
Well, he's just going to put Spine Crawlers in his base. Hello, I am here to stay.
Yeah, he's rooting himself. He is setting up shop. He came over to visit, but he actually brought his couch. He put it right in his kitchen. He's like, this is my house now.
Oh, and the transfusions too. These lings just saying, hello, I'm going to go for your economy.
I want him to just move that creep tumor even further forward. Just be like, let's have creep all up in your base now. Over his nexus. Get it over his main nexus.
It's not every day you see a spine crawl rush, but when I do see them, I am so happy.
Yeah, this was a pretty funny game. He's gonna pull a couple more of his probes, try to stop this. There come the rest of the probes. And I think Ancestor's gonna realize he does not have what it takes to stop all of this. The spines are quite weak, but he's running out of units. And once the Zealot dies, well, now these probes just pop like balloons.
Oh man,
I'm just watching this and enjoying it, man. This is that was
GG.
That was a wild game. GG. SoulKey takes it.